you're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are those of imagination. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Oh, hi there, Pete. Didn't hear you come in.
Why don't you join us?
Set a spell.
That's all right. I wouldn't want to interrupt you.
Well, all right then. Where was I?
General Pershing.
Oh, yeah. So I said to Jack Pershing, General, I said, there ain't gonna be no artillery support. They're dug in too deep.
When was this now?
First World War, of course. The Great War, we called it. Yes, sir. So I says to General Pershing, Jack, what we gotta do is we gotta enfilade. Know what I mean?
Do what?
Enfilade 'em. That's what we're gonna do. Ha ha! Enfilade 'em to beat the band.
Frisby, when are you going to put that mouth organ of yours out of its misery?
How's that?
Or at least learn how to play it.
Helps me relax. Well, sir, old Blackjack knew who he was dealing with.
And that was?
They didn't call me old Enfilade Frisby for nothing.
Horseradish?
Huh?
Where do you keep the horseradish, Frisby?
Right where it always was, Pete. Third shelf down.
Down where?
On your left there, next to the pickles.
You got catsup?
Underneath the cash register, behind the beans. What's your hurry? Come on over. I got another chair.
No thanks.
I'll put a new log in the stove.
If it's all the same to you, Frisby, I'll just collect my goods and get on home while it's still daylight.
Suit yourself. Oh, well, where was I? Oh, yeah. Well, sir, the following morning, we attacked up and down the line, and the rest is history. Smashed them to bits, we did. And then we went on to Paris to celebrate. Exactly 4.5 hours it took us. We had frogs' legs and cold duck till we couldn't eat no more. An hour later, we was in Berlin.
Shall I say it, or do you want to?
Be my guest.
Frisby.
Yeah?
You not only got a pot belly big as that stove, you're the biggest liar who ever sat in that chair.
You're doubting my word?
You can start with that. Beyond just doubting your word, I'm calling you a liar flat out. How can you go from Paris to Berlin in 1 hour?
Find the radishes, Pete?
Yep. What about celery?
All out. Getting some fresh ones in the morning.
We're waiting, Frisby. How do you go from Paris to Berlin in 1 hour?
Oh, hold your horses now. I'm coming to that. It's what made the whole operation so fantastic. I was doing some reconnoitering, and I found me a back route.
That's very interesting, Frisby, except last week you sat right there, big as life, and told us you were in the Balloon Corps.
You sure did.
And that over the Battle of Marne, you shot down 3 German Fokkers with a pistol and personally directed the artillery so the Marines could win.
Oh, I did that too. Only it was a year later. It was, let's see now, April of 1917.
That's it. I heard enough.
More than enough. I'm getting out of here.
Well, now you might want to give that some thought, boys. Looks like rain to me.
Rain?
Sure enough, gonna be some rain. Tell by the clouds. You can always tell by the clouds, you know. Take that big job up on the hill. That there is a stratocumulus opacus.
Anything you say, Frisby.
You fellas know anything about meteorology?
Don't get him started.
Well, what do you know? Looks like it got me a customer.
Carload full of them.
Better get out there and pump some gas before they change their minds.
Oh, now ain't no reason to hurry. Them clouds, for instance, they like to take their time. So do I. It's the way Mother Nature made things. Why, did I ever tell you about...
The slow-moving gentleman with the sizable mouth is Mr. Frisby, proprietor of Frisby's General Store, the local version of Gimbel's and Macy's. He has all of the drive of a broken camshaft and the aggressive vinegar of a corpse. As you've no doubt gathered by now, his stock in trade is the tall tale, the outrageous falsehood, the bending of truth up to and beyond the breaking point. What he doesn't know is that the visitors in the car out front are a very special breed. destined to change his life beyond anything even his fertile imagination could manufacture and embroider. The place is Pitchfield Flats. The time is the present, or thereabouts. And Mr. Frisby is on the first leg of a rather fanciful journey into a place we call the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone, and our story, Hocus Pocus and Frisby, starring Shelley Berman, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
I believe I asked you boys a question.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
About meteorology. Well, I know plenty about that particular subject. University of Wichita it was. Got my doctorate in it. Did a treatise at the age of 13 that still uses standard text. Meteorology and You was the title. Talk was, it was the most scholarly treatise on the subject in the history of the field. My colleagues used to refer to me as Cumulus Frisby.
Cumulus Frisby.
Frisby's a meteorologist. I'm Vice President of the United States.
Well, what do you say, Mr. VP?
Better get out there, Cumulus.
I'm coming.
All finished, Frisby. You want to add it up?
You do it, Pete. There's a pencil and paper right on the counter there. I could do it in my head for you, but it's been kind of a long day. I'm a little pooped out.
1 bottle of catsup. Horseradish.
Ever tell you about the time I gave a demonstration, me against the computer machines? 13 of them, lined up in an auditorium. 133 columns of figures, 8 digits apiece, and no pencil and paper, mind you, all in the head. Well, sir, people came from miles around.
What happened, Frisby?
I thought no one would ever ask.
4 of the machines broke down from overwork.
Not you, of course.
2 come up with incorrect answers, and I beat them all by 21 seconds. Ha ha.
That does it for me. I simply can't take no more, Frisby, I gotta tell you.
Can't take what?
I wouldn't mind if you was a bright liar. I mean, if there was some logic to it, but dadgum, the way you tell it, well, you'd have to be 100 different people living in 200 different places in 12 different periods of American history.
Hallelujah and amen.
Shucks. What are they in such an all-fired hurry for?
Time to do some work, Frisby. You got customers.
You just said a dirty word. Only thing that works in Frisby's whole body is his mouth.
All right. Keep your britches on. Howdy, gents.
Hello.
Want gas or something?
Gas. Oh, yes.
Sorry you had to wait.
Not at all.
You know, if you gotta be someplace in a hurry, you could have pumped it yourself.
We could.
Didn't you hear me yelling?
Oh, we heard you. Definitely.
We're not too familiar with this kind of car.
No. Say, how many of you was in there?
4 of us. It's a bit of a tight fit, I'm afraid.
Sure it is. One of them foreign jobs. Not much room inside, huh?
We don't know where to put the gas. We aren't familiar at all with these foreign jobs.
You ain't? Well, this is your lucky day, 'cause I am. A matter of fact, I'm the one responsible for 'em. For a while there was all rear engine, only in the back.
You developed them, did you?
Oh, indeed I did. Got a phone call from old Henry Ford one time asking me to fly out to Detroit.
Henry Ford?
Sure. Well, I did that little thing, and next thing you know, in 48 hours, I went and designed the first rear-engine automobile. Advantages are fantastic,
Is that right?
Sure. All the weight on the driving wheels gives her better traction, eliminating the drive shaft, lowering the whole car. There's a whole lot better visibility, plus the heat and gas fumes go right on out behind.
You're quite familiar with the internal combustion engines, then. That sort of thing.
Familiar with them? Why, mister, you're looking at the granddaddy of the modern-day automobile. Henry said to me when I finished that there designing job, rear engine, he said, that's what he called me, old rear engine Frisby. He says, rear engine, you're an automotive genius. That's what you are. Well, I couldn't very well argue with him, being as how he was Henry Ford.
I guess not.
Now, where was I? Say, you want it filled up?
If you don't mind.
Not at all, not at all. That's what made this country work, and more work. Me, I've done more of it in my life, more different kinds of work than most people ever even heard of. Of course, I had more than my share of ingenuity, too. I took this little old business here and made it a success, just like I did for, well, you might say everything I laid my hands on. Gas tank, the gas tank.
Would it be on the other side?
Oh, I knew that. Why don't you boys go ahead and stretch your legs? Take your time. Mighty pretty country around here.
Yes, pretty.
Of course, it wasn't very pretty when I moved in. First thing I did was plant all these trees, hundreds of them. I had to import them from my old friend Luther Burbank. You gotta give them just the right amount of water and a special kind of plant food I cooked up.
This is the man.
Without doubt, Frisby, is that it?
Not a common name. He must be the one.
Frisby. An incredible specimen. Done it all, knows everything, and everyone. All the greats.
Then what we've heard is true. All of it.
Absolutely. He studied at most of the major universities, holds a doctorate in at least 8 disciplines.
A key man, obviously.
Water and oil okay?
I believe they are, but I'd feel better if you checked them.
Might as well, long as I'm out here. I'll just open the hood and let me see now. Where's the latch now?
In the front, maybe.
Front? Where? Oh, no, what am I thinking? In back? Of course, where the engine is. Engine.
You're a big help, Mr. Frisby.
You don't know how much we value your personal attention.
Oh, that's okay, boys. Look here. Ain't that something? They got the dipstick and all hidden away so's nobody can go messing with them. But I can see from here that they're just fine. They're just fine. And yep, that's fine and dandy. Well, that ought to do it.
How much do we owe you?
Looks like $5 and a couple of cents. Make it 5 even.
Did you bring a supply of local currency?
Right here. Which one?
Will this do?
This here's $20.
That what it is? Yes, of course. 20.
I think I got some change.
Change?
In my pocket. Hold on now.
Did we give you enough?
Oh, sure, but you got 3 5s coming back.
That's not necessary, Mr. Frisby. You keep it.
Huh?
For your trouble.
We have no need of it.
That's mighty decent of you. You folks from around here?
No, we're from
quite a ways off.
Well, if you're planning to drive a spell, I'd check in someplace first if I was you.
And why is that?
Those are dangerous-looking clouds.
Dangerous?
Yes, sir. We're going to have some rain shortly.
You can tell when it's going to rain?
Rain? Mister, I can tell when the humidity drops 0.5%. I can predict fog, smog, hail, sleet, snow, dew, and freezing 24 hours before it happens.
Really?
Well, I was working on a perpetual motion machine in Sioux City, Iowa, back in 1921, when I got a call from President Harding. He was begging me to fly to Washington, D.C. and help him set up their meteorology department.
Is that a fact?
Not only is it a fact, but I'm giving it to you oversimplified, kinda. 'Cause I'm too modest to say what they put on the medal they gave me after I got 'em on the right track. That's how come you have weather predictions on the news.
Mr. Frisby, we were wondering if...
Not yet. We'll see you later, Mr. Frisby.
You will?
You may rely on it.
Well, that'd be real nice. Stop on back and we'll sit around and talk some more. But mind what I told you about the weather. Best check into a motel or something till she blows over.
We'll do something like that. Thank you so much, Mr. Frisby. Into the car now, gentlemen.
Well, you take care now.
Oh, we will. We will.
Odd fellers.
Why, didn't they believe what you were saying?
It ain't that. They just seem kinda odd. Wearing suits like business fellows from the city. Handed me a $20 bill like they didn't know what it was.
Well, how come you didn't tell them you was Andrew Jackson and that was your picture on it?
That's one of the few things I ain't heard 'em claim.
Wait around here long enough and you will.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow, Frisby.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Sure enough, boys. I'll be here. Same as always. Let's see now, 5 o'clock. Sounds to me like a good time to close.
Mr. Frisby?
That's my name. Don't wear it out. Huh?
Mr. Frisby.
Who's there?
If you walk outside and head east down the highway...
Where are you? Nobody left in this store but me.
If you head east for 200 yards, you'll come upon something extraordinary.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
An adventure, Mr. Frisby. New worlds to conquer.
How's that?
Worlds even you have never dreamed of.
Say, where you hiding? In the back room? Or over by the dry goods?
Don't trouble yourself. You won't see us.
Well, where are you then?
With you, Mr. Frisby. We are a part of you. And soon, very soon, you will be a part of us for all eternity. You are going to the stars, sir. To the stars.
What do you mean, the stars? You talking about going to Hollywood?
The stars in the heavens. You're not afraid, are you?
Afraid? Me? Stonewall Frisby? Do I, David Eisenhower said to me back when I got onto the very first landing craft on D-Day, Stoney, he says to me, Stoney, you lead the invasion. There'll be mines, German E-boats, Stuka dive bombers, and artillery up against you, but you can do it. Well, Ike, I says, I guess if you really want me to.
An exceptional record, Mr. Frisby, but our time grows short. Will you accept this last greatest adventure?
You mean go walking outside?
It's not far, just beyond the first grove of trees.
Afraid I can't take you up on that, seeing as how it's gonna rain.
Then you are frightened. We had thought you'd be the one man willing to take almost any risk.
That may be, but who, may I ask, is telling me all this?
If you'll walk on down the road, as I suggested, you'll find out.
Well, rain or no rain, I never was one to turn down a little excitement. Who'd you say you was?
Your questions will be answered soon enough.
Well, all right then. Just let me lock up.
That won't be necessary.
Why not?
Because, Mr. Frisby, you won't be coming back.
Well, will you look at that? I sure was right. Gonna be a big old storm tonight.
Hurry, Mr. Frisby.
I'm coming. Don't get your long johns in a twist.
Straight ahead. We're waiting for you.
Where?
Look to your right.
I don't see... Wait a minute. What the heck? Oh, I get it. Some kind of movie prop, right? What are you doing? Making one of them science fiction movies out here? Dang if it don't look like one of them flying saucers.
That's exactly what it is. You may come inside.
Now, how am I going to do that? You got it made to look like there ain't no doors or windows.
Very well. In the interest of time, I suppose we can give you a slight assist at this point.
Hey.
Hold on, Mr. Frisby.
Whoa, Nellie. How'd you do that?
Teleportation, Mr. Frisby, but I'm sure you know all about it.
Well, what do you know? You got a nice setup in here. I'll give you that. What's underneath all that aluminum paint? Wood frame or drywall?
I assure you, it's all quite authentic. Impressed?
Me? Impressed? With this rinky-dink set? Why, shucks, it looks like a flea on a doll compared to the one I designed for the United States Space Agency.
Oh, we didn't know they had flying saucers yet. Apollo, of course, and Viking.
Well, mine was called a Buzzard. Biggest span you ever saw. And that was back in 51. Old Rocket Thrust Frisby, they called me.
Please, Mr. Frisby, be good enough to follow me.
Well, don't this take all?
How do you do, Mr. Frisby?
Welcome, Mr. Frisby.
How do you... So this is part of that movie prop. That's it, ain't it? Some kind of Hollywood thing. Advertising a flying saucer picture, huh?
In a word, Mr. Frisby, no. This is an actual spacecraft.
Go on now.
And we, my colleagues and I, have come here from another planet.
We have indeed.
All this way, across the interstellar darkness, to meet you.
Well, in that case, I'm leaving.
Correction, Mr. Frisby. You are staying.
Wait, let me loose. I can't even wiggle my toes.
I suggest you stop struggling against the force field and relax.
After all, you're going to be here a while. A very long while in Earth terms.
Why not make yourself comfortable while you prepare to meet the others?
The others?
That's right. The Intergalactic Council.
Well, sir, the government already knew about my research in atomic energy. Matter of fact, I suggested it to them as far back as 1923. Spent a whole summer one time with Al Einstein, during which time I gave him the preliminary stuff about that relativity theory of his. Smart as paint, that fella. Smart as paint. He had bad hair, though. Should have put some Brill cream on it. A little dab will do you. Anyhow, when I got this here call from New Mexico, I had to hightail it over there and show them how to make the bomb.
Incredible.
Fantastic.
What a specimen.
Now, let's see. That covers atomic energy. What was the next thing you fellows asked me about?
If you wouldn't mind, sir.
Go on, speak your mind. You're entitled, son.
Your research in liquid propellants.
Oh, yes, liquid propellants. Well, now, the main thing I gotta say about that is there ain't no liquid in the world that'll propel me faster than a dry martini on the rocks.
We were referring to liquid propellants as applied to space travel, Mr. Frisby.
Oh, them liquid propellants. I get your drift. Yeah, I developed the first ones used by the Air Force in that old whack Corporal rocket, remember? Used to have a model of it out in front of Disneyland. Well, that thing sure could move, thanks to me. Made up a batch of liquid stuff in my cellar. Folks around town wanted me to run for Congress after that, being as how I got the country back into the space race. But if there's one thing I ain't, it's conceited. I figure it's a man's patriotic duty to invent liquid propellants if he has a mind to. And I had a mind to. Why, even as a boy, when I was attending Princeton University on a special scholarship, they used to call me Old Liquid Propellant Frisby. Next question.
Forgive me, Mr. Frisby, but you mentioned Princeton University, did you not?
Sure did, young fella. Nice place, too. Real homey. Of course not as homey as Pittsville Flats.
But it was my understanding that you attended the University of Wichita.
That one, too. I can see how you'd get a mite confused. It happens to be a fact that I hold degrees in 38 major universities and advanced schools of learning.
Amazing. What on earth? It beggars the imagination.
I also got me one of them Rhodes scholarships over in England one time, but I had to turn it down because I wouldn't bow to the Queen. Next question. No more? In that case, well, I'll just get on home to dinner. I said it was getting late and I have to get home to dinner. Hey, you guys. About time I was leaving.
I gather that you don't quite understand the situation, Mr. Frisby.
How's that?
You're not going home for dinner. You shall have dinner here.
Here?
Precisely. In exactly, 14 minutes by your measure of time, we'll be departing.
Departing? From where to where?
From here to our planet. You see, Mr. Frisby, our assignment here was to secure a representative Earth species, the most brilliant we could find. There seems to be no question that your accomplishments are far and away more extensive than any other human beings.
Mine? Now, wait a minute. Now, hold on there. You fellas got the wrong idea. Why, I'm just a plain old country boy, a bumpkin. I'm a bumpkin. That's what I am. Just a rube with a big mouth.
Come now, Mr. Frisby. You do yourself a terrible injustice. We know all about you and your accomplishments.
My accomplishments. Mister, the one accomplishment you fellas didn't pick up on is the fact that I am the gall-darndest liar that ever walked the pike. I spin the longest yarn west of the Rockies, and I'm not talking about exaggerating. I'm talking about lies. I mean lies.
Mr. Frisby.
Don't you get it? I'm a liar. I ain't got enough truth in me to raise a bump on a bee.
There are some terms that have no equivalent in our language. This word, lie, that you mentioned.
Dang right, lie. That there is the opposite of the truth. Don't you have that on your planet?
Have what, Mr. Frisby?
Have a fella that runs around talking the bull off a nickel?
I'm afraid not. We have no concept of this term.
You mean whatever somebody says goes without saying? That is the truth? So everything I told you, every doggone piece of harebrained guff I've been throwing at you, you believe it? And now you're taking me up to your planet so you can stick me in a cage?
Oh, hardly that, Mr. Frisby. It won't be a cage. We'll naturally have to keep you confined, much as we do the other specimens we've collected.
We've got a marvelously entertaining Venusian. He sings simultaneously in 8 different octaves, and he accompanies himself on percussion with his tail.
Now, you listen to me. I'm a bona fide American citizen, and I got my rights. And furthermore...
Please contain yourself, Mr. Frisby. Since we'll be departing very shortly, you have your choice of dinner now or later. Perhaps you'd prefer waiting. What is your pleasure?
I'll tell you what my pleasure is. My pleasure is to punch you right smack dab on the jaw. What the...
Don't be alarmed, Mr. Frisby. That was only a mask, a disguise we use to pass among Earthlings. This is my real face underneath. I hope its appearance doesn't unduly disturb you. Mr. Frisby?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Mr. Frisby!
Oh, my aching back. Where am I?
Feeling better, Mr. Frisby?
Better than what?
I thought I should tell you. We'll be departing in 5 minutes.
You still on that kick? Listen to me. I ain't interested in departing anywhere except from you. I never been more'n 50 miles outside of Pittsville in my life, and that's the one record I'm right proud of.
Curious remark. It does not compute. You took a bump to the head. Lie still. I'd better scan you.
Get that thing away from me.
It's only a vibrometabolic scanner to detect organic damage.
Stay back, I tell you.
You're in perfect shape. No spikes in your brainwaves, none whatsoever. Remarkable, I must say, for someone with such active cranial matter.
Man, the last time I saw something like you, I'd been 4 days on a corn jug. And even at that, what I thought I saw was a whole lot prettier than you.
I'm sorry you find my features distasteful. On our planet, my appearance is considered quite satisfactory. But if you prefer, I could wear another one of those pseudo-faces.
This place where you're from, do the girls look like that too?
The females? Why do you ask?
Because if they do, it's a downright wonder you ain't extinct.
Please try to accept my true appearance, Mr. Frisby, much as we have become accustomed to yours. Some effort is required on both sides. Shall we, I believe the customary phrase is, shake on it?
Don't point your finger at me. What you got there, a claw?
A gesture of friendship, Mr. Frisby. Hands across the galaxy and all that.
Well, okay, but don't you go pinching me. You're built hard as a crawfish, I'll say that.
Oh, we are indeed, by your standards, which is quite fortunate for us, considering the gravitational pressures on our home planet.
You have a match on you?
Pardon?
For my pipe. Hold on. I gotta light my overalls.
What are you doing?
Helps me relax. A pinch of Prince. One time a guy come in my store and he says, "You got Prince Albert in a can?" And I says, "No, already went and let him out. Oh, never mind. You boys wouldn't understand.
I'm afraid there's no smoking on the ship.
Well, who ever heard of a rule like that?
It upsets the negative ion balance.
No, I really ain't going. What do you think of that?
Well, I suppose if you sit over here, directly under the laminar flow.
Kind of chilly. Ooh. Don't you boys have a wood-burning stove at least? Must get mighty close to freezing up there in outer space.
What's that?
Oh, that? Oh, that's just my old harmonica. Want I should play you a little tune?
Oh, please, Mr. Frisby.
I've been meaning to give a concert one of these days. Maybe Carnegie Hall or over in Branford.
Oh, attention! X10 and X12. I need you here at once.
Most beautiful sound there is, huh? They have harmonicas where you guys are from? Well, do they? I ask you a question. Do you have harmonicas up there where you
Help!
You don't look so good. Kind of green. Whoa, well, let me play some more for you. Ain't nothing like a little tune before dinner. That's what I always say.
What's that horrible sound? It's that object. I've got to get it away from him before it's too late. Back. It's dangerous. Stay away from it. Save yourselves.
What's the matter, boys? Don't you like my playing? Boys? Oh, boys! Frisby, old son, something tells me this is your chance. You better make tracks, and I mean now. They didn't call you old mile-a-minute Frisby for nothing. Get moving.
What are you doing out of your room, Mr. Frisby? Mr. Frisby? Don't let him off the ship! Quickly, seal the airlock!
No, you don't, boy. Get out of my way.
No. Don't go after him. He has some sort of fantastic instrument that emits a death sound. I've never heard a pitch like it. It's powerfully destructive. We'd best take off before he warns others of his kind. They may have the same weapon.
Can't catch this old boy, can you? Go on, get out of here. Get on back where you come from. That's it. Scat.
Shh, quiet. Douse the lights. Here he comes.
What's going on here? Will somebody tell me what's happening here?
What do you mean, what's happening? It's your birthday, ain't it? As if you didn't know. And this here is a surprise party. As if you didn't know that either.
Congratulations, Frisby.
Put her there, old buddy.
Well, I sure didn't expect nothing like this.
The heck you didn't. The present. Give him the present, dadgummit. I've been waiting all day for this.
Got it right here.
What are you waiting for? Go on, Frisby, open it up.
Well, you folks sure sprung one on me.
Want me to help you get the paper off?
No, I can get it.
Go ahead, read it.
What is it, some kind of trophy?
It's what they call a lovin' cup.
Went into town and ordered it special.
Go on, read it out loud.
For the first time, Frisby is at a loss for words. I'll read it for him. World's Greatest Liar, Mr. Somerset Frisby, presented by his friends on the occasion of his 63rd birthday.
Folks, all I can think to say is, mighty nice of you all. Mighty nice.
Ain't you gonna make a speech?
Yeah, Frisby. Tell us one of them real whoppers.
Like where you been the last couple of hours? Was you inventing something? Or maybe you just took a quick trip to the moon?
Well, you ain't far wrong, and that's a fact.
I knowed it. I've been waiting for this all day.
First off, you know who them fellas was in that car?
Which car?
That little foreign job come in here for gas, remember?
The President of the United States and the Secret Service.
Well, I'll tell you who them fellas was. They was from outer space.
Oh, isn't he the living end?
And somehow or other they picked me up in the air, right down there by the hollow, and I floated over to their flying saucer, and they took me inside, and then they was gonna kidnap me and take me to their planet.
And you was gonna be their leader, Frisby?
But it's true. They was just about to kidnap me. Wanted to make me their A1 prize specimen. Oh, the whole Galactic Council was watching. They even had a guy from Venus who could sing 8 different ways from sundown and play the drum with his tail. Well, sir, you know how I stopped them?
You talked them to death?
No, not that. It weren't nothing, really. Just took out my mouth harp and blowed a little tune, something like this. You know what happened then?
I'm sure you're gonna tell us. I've been waiting all day for this.
They just plumb fainted away.
Now that I can believe.
Play us a tune, Somerset, the way you used to.
Well, I suppose I could do that if you really want to hear it. Wait a minute. There it is. Didn't I tell you it was going to rain? Sure I did. I can feel it in these old bones of mine. Yes, sir.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Ain't he the perfect limit? Ain't he the be-all and end-all?
Mr. Somerset Frisby, who might have profited by reading an Aesop fable, the one about the boy who cried wolf. For now, consider this one more tall tale from the timberlands of the Twilight Zone.
Hi, this is Carl Amari, producer of the Twilight Zone radio dramas. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about our official website at twilightzoneradio.com, where you'll get the latest news and information on these Twilight Zone radio dramas. Plus, at twilightzoneradio.com, you can digitally download 3 free episodes or any of our episodes for only $1.95 each. In this age of ever-changing technology, we've decided to make these episodes instantly available to you by making the Twilight Zone radio dramas a digital download-only series. This means that this series will no longer be offered on CD. The CD collections at our website are now being offered while supplies last at buy one, get one free. So be sure to get your favorites before they're sold out. Be sure to visit us often, and I'll see you in the zone.
A World of Difference, starring Luke Perry, with Stacy Keach as your narrator, was adapted for radio by Dennis Etchison and written for The Twilight Zone by Richard Matheson. Heard in the cast were Elizabeth Lado, Christian Stolte, David Darlow, Doug James, Jeff Lupetin, Sarah Wellington, Maggie Carney, Carl Amari, Roger Wolski, Vince Amari, Amanda Amari, Sarah Court, and Anna Sveruzza. To learn more about the Twilight Zone radio dramas and to obtain audio cassettes and CDs of these programs, visit our website at twilightzoneradio.com. The producers of The Twilight Zone wish to thank CBS Enterprises, Carol Serling, Dennis Etchison, Dick Brescia Associates, Claire Simon Casting, Terry Jennings, XM Satellite Radio, Sirius Satellite Radio, our sponsors and our radio affiliates for helping make this series possible. This copyrighted radio series is produced and directed by Carl Amari and Roger Wolski for Falcon Picture Group. Doug James speaking.
There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Hey there, Will.
Morning, Mr. Reagan.
Reagan? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, you want to open the gate?
Yeah, I guess it is. A good one. Want to let me in on it?
Let you in on what?
You called me Will.
Yeah, so?
So, my name's Harold, you know that.
Since when?
How long you been working here?
Oh, long time.
All that time, I've always been Harold. Some people call me Shorty, but never Will.
And I'm Arthur. My wife calls me Artie sometimes, but if you want to be Harold, that's okay by me.
Oh, I get it. You want I should call you Arthur from now on instead of Mr. Reagan? You got it. Guess that makes us even.
Harold, do you a favor?
What's that?
Leave the parking lot open, then take the rest of the day off.
Okay, I'll bite. What for?
You must be tired. Didn't get much sleep last night, huh? Have some breakfast, cup of coffee, see if that helps.
Helps what?
To get your head on straight. You can open the gate now, Harold, or whatever your name is.
Sure, if you say so.
Morning, Sally.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Curtis. I just got here myself. I hope I'm not late.
No, I thought I'd better get an early start. I have to leave about 3.
You do?
My wife and I haven't gotten a thing for Tina's birthday yet.
That's right. The party's Saturday afternoon, isn't it?
If my daughter can last that long.
Excited?
She sure is. It's all she can think about. Are the Matson contracts ready?
Right here. I finished them before I left last night.
Good. I'll look them over in my office. Well, back to the grindstone.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I almost forgot. Would you call the airline for me? See if you can get those reservations changed from Monday to Saturday.
Will do. Straining at the leash to get out of town?
You bet. It's the first real vacation Marion and I have had in years. So I figure, why lose a whole weekend before starting out?
I don't blame you.
Saturday night, it's San Francisco. Here we come. Hold all calls for a few minutes, will you? I want to tell my wife.
Certainly, sir.
Hope her mother can take Tina after the party. Oh, for heaven's sake. Sally! Sally! I can't get a dial tone!
What's he doing?
I don't know.
This isn't in the script.
Sally, I said... Who are you? What are all you people doing in...
Cut!
Where did Sally go? What happened to the wall and...
I said cut. All right, everybody, take 5.
Will somebody please tell me what is going on?
Reality. The quality of being real or having an actual existence. A matter of interest to philosophers throughout the ages. The definition comes from the dictionary, and it directly concerns one Arthur Curtis, 36 years old and a successful businessman, or so he believes. Mr. Curtis is about to discover that the line between reality and unreality can be very thin indeed. In fact, under certain conditions, it may be less than thin. It may be invisible, at least in the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, A World of Difference, starring Luke Perry with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
I asked you a question. All of you. What are you doing here? Get out of my office.
Come on, Jerry.
That's not my name.
Is it so hard to make a phone call? Lose the ad-libs.
Who are you?
Remember, Jerry?
Marty Fisher, your friendly neighborhood TV director.
What are you talking about?
How soon they forget.
Sally, what is all this?
Something go wrong, Mr. Reagan?
Why are you sitting there like that with your feet up? Take them off the desk at once.
I thought we were on a break.
We are. Why don't you go to your dressing room while I talk to Jerry?
Sure, Marty. Call me when you're ready.
Watch the cables, Miss Lawson.
Of course I will, Kelly. You'd think I'd never been on a set before.
What are all these lights for? I can hardly see.
Pretty hard to shoot without him, Jerry. This isn't exactly verite.
That camera, what's it for? Will somebody please tell me?
I'm warning you, Jerry.
Oh? And who do you think you are?
That's funny. I was about to ask you the same thing. Why don't you wise up and cut the dramatics?
Dramatics?
They won't take much more of this. You're very close to the edge.
The edge of what?
I like that. You're really into it. What is it? The method?
I don't think so.
Not the method. Who'd you study with? Sandy Meisner? Right? No, wait a minute. Stella Adler. Well, I used to be at the Institute, too, and the first rule is don't break character. So, what do you say? Shall we take it again?
I don't understand what you're saying.
It's a gag, just a little gag. You know these New York actors.
All right, get him some coffee. Kelly?
Yeah?
Coffee over here, please. Black.
Coming right up.
Okay, Jerry, let's forget about it. Get your scene done. The front office doesn't like it when they're over schedule.
Over schedule? Not this show.
Then let's try it again. Back to the set.
Set?
Listen, I went out on a limb for you. The whole agency did.
What agency?
Just do your lines.
Are we ready here?
We're ready. Now, Jerry.
All right, one more time. You're going to call your wife, tell her to meet you at 3:15.
How did you know that?
Got all your lines down? Where's your script?
What are you talking about?
Easy, Jerry. Don't burn yourself out. Places, everyone. Break's over.
Where am I?
In your office. It's morning. You just got here.
This can't be my office. It only looks like my office. The window isn't even real.
What's he doing?
The city outside. It's a painting. What is this, a joke?
Jerry.
What are you people watching me for? I don't know you. I don't know any of you.
Don't let him get away.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not on his mark.
Maybe you can shoot around him for a while.
I don't want to shoot around him, Sam. We've got 7 pages to do before lunch.
He'll come through, Marty. We never had any trouble with him before.
What's he doing now?
The scene, I told you.
Get ready to follow him. Roll sound and action.
Still dead.
Cut! Where are you going, Jerry?
Stop calling me that. It's not my name.
Sure, if that's what you want.
Is there another telephone in here?
Sit down, Jerry.
One that works?
Jerry, if I have to phone Brinkley on this, you're dead.
Do whatever you like. Just leave me alone.
You don't look so good. How do you feel?
I felt fine when I got here.
Please sit down.
What's that on your face? Sweat? Kelly!
Yeah?
Call for an ambulance and make it fast.
Yes, sir. Shall I ask the front office to authorize it?
Of course not. If they find out, there's no telling what they'd do. Suspend production, probably. Go on, go!
Right away.
Jerry, let's go to your dressing room. You can lie down.
Where's the nearest telephone?
Jerry, we're trying to help you.
My name is Arthur Curtis. Take your hands off me. I'm getting out of here.
Did you hear that? Arthur Curtis?
Is this a real telephone?
Looks like it.
All right, everybody. 1 hour for lunch.
Is it hooked up?
Should be.
The number. What's the number?
Search me.
Operator, number please.
I don't know. I can't think.
I'll connect you with information.
Yes, please.
Directory information.
Hello. Would you give me the number of Arthur Curtis? 22437 Ventnor Road, Woodland Hills.
Checking.
On Ventnor. Ventner.
I have no listing for a Curtis at that address.
What? You must be mistaken.
Jerry?
Listen, it's my own home. I'm Arthur Curtis. I just can't remember the number at the moment. Will you?
If it's an unlisted number.
It's not an unlisted number. At least I don't think it is. Look, would you try again? I know there's a phone there.
I'm sorry, sir.
Jerry, put the phone down.
You're wrong, operator. Connect me with your supervisor.
Let's go to your dressing room.
Listen.
Give me the phone.
What are you doing?
You're not yourself. You're sick.
Get your hands off me.
I'm trying to help.
Well, I don't need it. I'm getting out of here.
Where are you going?
Home.
Jerry! Somebody stop him!
Hey! Watch it, lady.
Are you out of your mind? If you're drunk again, Jerry...
Let go of me.
Look, I don't care if they bounce you. I don't care if you never work again for the rest of your worthless life. You're going to pay me what the judge tells you to pay me, or so help me, I'll put you so far behind bars, they'll never find you again.
There you are. Mrs. Reagan.
I am not Mrs. Reagan anymore.
Sorry. Could I speak to you in private?
I haven't the time.
It's about Jerry.
He's coming with me. He'll be back in time for the afternoon filming.
That isn't exactly what
Excuse me, but I need your car.
What do you think you're doing? You're not driving.
I've just called for an ambulance. Jerry's having a nervous breakdown.
How convenient for him.
Would you two get out of the way, please?
I'm not joking, Mrs.
Miss, from now on.
If you won't move...
Slide over.
I don't have time to argue.
I said...
Get in if you have to. I'm getting out of this place.
You pig-headed...
Better fasten your seatbelt.
Slow down.
Don't touch the wheel.
I'll do more than touch it. I'm not going to let you crash this car. It's mine now.
Get your hands off the brake.
There. Now will you let me drive?
I'm warning you.
You're warning me? Give me those keys. Now.
Stop! Look, please, whoever you are.
I said I'll drive. If you want to kill yourself, you'll have to wait. First, I'm going to bleed you, Jerry. I'm going to bleed you dry. Every bank account, every residual.
Now listen. I don't know who you think I am, but you're wrong. You're wrong. My name is Curtis. Arthur Curtis. And I don't have the slightest idea what you're talking about. Right now, I'm going to...
Oh, cut the histrionics. If you think you can chisel your way out of pain with a cheap trick like this...
I'm gonna turn the key again. And I'm driving to my home in Woodland Hills. Once we get there, you can have your car back. Do you understand?
I told you to cut the act.
No act. My name is Arthur Curtis. My wife's name is Marion. I have a daughter named Tina. And I live at 22437 Ventnor Road in Woodland Hills.
I mean it, Jerry.
My name is Arthur Curtis. My wife's name is...
I said cut. Cut!
I don't understand. I've made this turn twice now.
Let me know when the grand tour is over, will you?
I don't know where I am. And yet I must. This is my neighborhood. I live here.
Do you?
I have, for years. Ever since I bought the house. But my street, it's just not here.
What do you want, Jerry? An Academy Award?
I've told you, my name is...
Oh, can it, will you? Who are you trying to convince? You may as well give it up. You never had a less receptive audience.
Why do you refuse to listen to me?
Go ahead, then. Play it out. Make a complete idiot of yourself. I couldn't care less.
I'm trying to find my house. Is that so hard to comprehend?
Well, you're not going to, no matter how hard you try.
And why is that?
Simple. Because there's no such thing as Ventnor Road.
Keep quiet. I'm trying to think.
And what's more, there never was, except in your dreams.
What's in the glove box?
That's none of your business. This is my car now.
There must be a map. Let me have it, please.
Get your hands out of there.
I'm just trying to... Tina! There she is!
Who's Tina?
My daughter!
Another little secret you never told me about. When did that happen?
See her? Skipping down the sidewalk?
Oh, spare me.
Hi, honey! Over here! It's Daddy!
This is too much. You're going to get us both arrested.
Tina, honey! Come here!
I didn't have anything to do with this, remember that.
Tina? Thank God.
Leave me alone.
But you're not Tina. Sorry, little girl, I thought...
You scared me. You're a bad man.
Get in.
But that dress... I thought she was...
I said get in. Or would you rather go to jail for attempted kidnapping? You should have let me drive in the first place. None of this would have happened.
Why are you stopping?
Because this is the end of the line.
Here?
Oh, don't tell me you're going to play surprised.
But I've never seen this house before.
You just won't quit, will you? That's Brinkley's car out front. What does he want?
Who's Brinkley?
Pound of flesh, probably. Well, he'll have to wait his turn. Coming?
I can't stay here. I have to go.
I said I'd get you back for the afternoon shooting.
I mean, home.
You are home.
Who's home?
Move it, Buster. Or would you rather sit out here? Fine with me. Suit yourself, but I promise you'll regret it.
Where are we?
Come on inside. Fix yourself a drink. A little hair of the dog? Maybe that'll do it.
Jerry.
Who are you?
Better be nice to Sam. He's still the vice president of your agency.
Where have you been?
I'm not sure.
Did Sam call you?
More than an hour ago. Said he'd left the studio, walked out.
Stumbled is more like it.
What's all this about?
The studio?
First things first, Jerry. Come into the study.
Why?
Nora, we need to do some damage control.
We sure do.
Can't this wait?
I've waited long enough. I want my money now before he goes off on his next binge.
Now look, I've explained to this woman that I'm not who you all seem to think I am.
Frankly, I don't know what to think. But if we don't smooth this over right now, today, the network won't renew your contract. And that will cost us all money.
My name is Curtis. I live...
Jerry, stop it!
Stop what? Would you rather I lie to you?
You don't seem to realize the position you're in.
Where do you hide the checkbook these days?
I beg your pardon?
I'll find it if I have to tear the house down.
Excuse me. I have to get out of here.
Jerry! I'm going to lay it on the line. If you lose this part, we'll have to drop you as a client. We can't cover for you anymore. It's beyond that. Way beyond.
I'm sorry, but you're mistaken.
All right. Look, they can shoot around you today. I'll tell them you came down with something. They won't buy it, but we'll do our best to make it stick. But come tomorrow, you've got to be there, Jerry, bright and early, with bells on.
I don't know what's going on. God, help me. I don't know what's going on.
You said that.
Jerry, enough is enough.
I tell you, I
found it. Get over here. Now.
Leave me alone, please.
Nora, he doesn't look so good. Maybe we should take him to Cedars.
You're going to sign this check, Jerry, right now, before you can pull anything else. Go on. Pick up the pen. That's it. Then we'll see about the state of your precious health.
Please, I'm asking you.
And I'm telling you. Sign it, Jerry. I want what you owe me.
His hands are shaking.
Oh, no. He's not going to get out of it that easily. I'll fill in my name in the amount. Just sign Gerald Reagan. Gerald.
That's not my name.
Raigan. In case you've forgotten how to spell, too.
But I've never heard that name before in my life.
Maybe he should lie down.
Would you both back off? This has gone far enough. I am not Gerald Reagan. My name is Arthur Curtis. Do you hear me? Arthur Curtis. I work for... Wait a minute. I'll prove it. Operator, I'd like the number for Davis Morton and Company, 189 Brand Street, Los Angeles. Yes, I'll hold. But make it fast, will you? Of course there is. I should know. I worked there. Look, I've been with them for 7 years. Don't tell me that. Don't.
Here, lean on me.
Sarah Bernhardt.
Look at his eyes. I don't think he's faking it.
Awfully good timing, if you ask me.
Help me to get him to the other room.
What? What is happening to me?
Jer?
What are you doing?
Just closing the blinds.
Don't bother.
I was hoping you'd catch a few winks. Feeling better?
You don't believe me, do you?
It doesn't matter what I believe. You've been overworked, trying to wrap the season. Must have been a terrible strain.
The season. I take it that's supposed to mean something to me.
If it doesn't, we're all in trouble. Would you like anything? Some lunch? If Nora won't make it, I'll order out.
No, thanks. I don't have much of an appetite.
You need help, Jerry. It's not in my province, but I've known you a long time, and I hate for this to happen. It's not necessary, you know. It really isn't. Can't you see what's happened?
Why don't you tell me?
You know what this is? A script.
For what?
It's all right here. Take a look. Cast of characters. Arthur Curtis, 36. A young business executive, happily married.
Let me see that. Curtis lives in Woodland Hills, California, with his wife and young daughter. Where did you get this?
It's yours. From the dresser here, where you left it after studying your lines last night. Go on, keep reading.
He is married to Marion Curtis, 33. A charming young woman, typical of that efficient breed which can manage a house and family and still have ample time for...
Ring a bell?
Who wrote this?
That's neither here nor there. Some hack, probably. The point is, the only information you have about Arthur Curtis is what's written here.
That's crazy.
Jerry, I really do understand. Sometimes I'd like to escape myself, get away from this turmoil. The long hours, the early calls, to a simpler, sweeter existence. It's only natural.
You're telling me it was all a delusion? That I'm really somebody named Gerald Reagan, a dissolute, pitiful...
A sweet, unhappy man. A square peg in a round hole who never should have moved to Hollywood. Burdened with that harpy in there. Jerry Reagan, who wanted to be a serious actor once. Trying to make a living and find a little happiness. That's all.
No. I won't accept that. The life I remember, it was real.
I wish it were. For your sake. I wish it were. I have to go, Jerry, and report into the agency. Try to rest and forget about the series. You won't have to go back. I just spoke to the studio a few minutes ago. They're canceling production.
Production on what?
You may as well give me the script. I'll toss it for you. It doesn't matter now. I'm sorry, but Arthur Curtis is dead.
Well, what's his story?
I don't think it's a story. Not this time.
All better? Or should I fix him some milk and cookies?
He's had it. Withdrawn from the playing field. And I can't say I blame him.
Go on, then. Get out of here. I'll whip him into shape. If he thinks a little breakdown is going to let him off the hook.
Wait!
Jerry!
Well, what do you know? It walks.
Out of my way.
Yes, sir.
What is it, Jerry?
I've got to go back.
I told you it's too late for that. It's finished.
No, I've got to get back to my office.
If you mean the set, they're probably tearing it down already. And as far as I'm concerned...
But they mustn't. Don't you see? I'll never get back if they tear down the only connection I have to...
Jerry, knock it off.
I can't do that.
Jerry! Careful, Jerry, that's my car!
Name?
Open the gate.
Oh, that's you, Mr. Reagan?
I'm in a hurry.
Oh, sure. Nice car. What happened to your...
Now, Harold.
Well, see, your name's not on the list anymore. I mean, Reagan's not. That other one you gave me. What did you say it was? Curtis something?
I don't have time for this.
Hey, did you get fired? Real sorry to hear it. Or maybe you quit. Either way, I'm not supposed to...
Stand back.
Huh? No, I was just saying...
What in the... Hey! You can't do that! Put that down! What do you think you're doing?
What'd you say?
Watch your feet. That's my sofa!
Yeah?
Where are you taking it?
Back to props.
You can't.
Yeah? I got a work order right here to strike the set.
You mean my office?
Which office?
The low building with the rose bushes. 189.
Nah, this is from stage 23.
Which way is that?
It's over there. Hang a right at the commissary.
Take the wall down?
Not yet. Get the desk and chairs.
Where do you want them?
Hold on!
Pardon me, Mr. Reagan?
Don't touch the desk yet. Or the chair.
No? How come?
I have to get something.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. It'll take us a while. Too bad, huh? Nice set. Real nice. Kind of sorry to see it go.
Sally? Are you still here? No matter. I don't know where to start. There must be a way. There has to be.
Mr. Reagan?
Who?
It's Kelly. I thought I saw you come in.
What happened to my books?
Books? Oh, sent back to props by now.
And my papers? And file cabinets? Even the photos on the desk? They were pictures of my family, my wife and daughter.
Were they? You mean they were real? Give me a few minutes. Maybe I can track them down.
Do they have to do this?
I'm afraid so. The studio needs the space.
A career. A whole life packed up while you're out and shipped off to God knows where. I had no idea. I thought it would last.
Nothing lasts in this town. You know that.
But I thought...
You thought you were different. The exception to the rule? Well, I don't blame you. It's easy to fall into that. You see what happens to everyone else, but you never think it'll happen to you. Human nature, I guess. But, the next thing will come along.
And what will that be?
Beats me, but it always does. You have to have a little faith.
And the things we collect over the years and leave behind.
Oh, somebody else will get some use out of it. It was never really ours in the first place, was it? Can't exactly take it with you.
No, I guess you can't.
They're ready to take the walls down now. You might want to sit somewhere else.
I thought if I got here in time...
Thought what?
Nothing. You go on. I'll be out of here in a minute.
Just following orders, Mr. Reagan. Nothing personal.
No. Nothing personal at all. Marion, don't leave me. Don't leave me here.
Mr. Curtis?
Sally?
Mr. Curtis, oh, there you are. I thought you'd gone home.
What?
Somebody's here to see you. Go ahead, Mrs. Curtis.
Arthur?
Marion!
Honey, I don't understand.
You don't?
Where have you been? I've been phoning all day.
Marion, is it really you?
Well, who else would it be? Honestly, Sally kept saying you were out. Out? What does that mean? She couldn't imagine where you'd gone. She didn't see you leave.
You had some business to attend to. I got lost on the way back.
You did? How do you mean?
It doesn't matter. I'm back now.
Oh, just let me sit down for a second. These new shoes are... Why, where's your sofa?
I won't need it anymore. Marion, let's get out of here.
But I just got here. I didn't think you'd mind. I thought you might want to have dinner on the way home.
That sounds wonderful.
Oh, and I wanted to tell you, I got something for Tina's party. That doll she's so crazy about.
Now, Marion, let's go right now.
Artie, are you all right?
Yes, I am now.
You're looking a little tired. A hard day?
Very.
Where were you?
It's a long story.
Mr. Curtis.
Sally?
What is the matter with you, dear? You look as if you've seen a ghost.
Leaving now?
Did you make that call to the airlines?
Yes, sir. They sent the tickets over this afternoon. I have them right here.
Let me see.
Plane tickets for our trip?
Are they all right?
Yes, they're perfect.
Ready to strike the office. Get those lamps and tables out of there.
Okay.
Honey, you look so peculiar. Is something the matter?
Can you hear that?
Hear what?
Over here, boys.
Please, Marion, let's go on our vacation right away. Let's not wait.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing, sweetheart. Just let me hold you. I don't want to lose you.
Not much chance of that. Oh, Artie, I've never seen you like this.
We'll take Tina to your mother's and go right to the airport.
But I'm not packed.
We'll pick up what we need when we get there. Oh, Marion, it's very, very important.
Well, if it matters that much to you, I suppose.
Then let's go, now.
Hi there, Mr. Brinkley.
Have you broken it down yet?
Just about to.
Has Reagan been here?
He was a minute ago.
Where?
The office set.
And he's not there now?
Nope.
You didn't see him leave?
I didn't. Any of you guys see where Reagan went?
Nope.
Sure didn't.
Would you look in his dressing room?
Sure thing.
Well?
Not in his dressing room.
Then, I wonder where he's gone. Wherever it is, I hope he finds what he's looking for.
Flight 23
departing at Gate 5. Last call, Flight 23 to San Francisco.
Reality. The quality of being real or having an actual experience. Words of definition from a book we call the dictionary. Words that fail to recognize man's gift for creating realities of his own. Realities perhaps beyond the measurement of science, and yet actual in their own right. Realities existing in that vast and timeless middle ground between light and shadow, the dimension of imagination, also known as the Twilight Zone.
He's Alive, starring Peter Mark Richmond and Marshall Allman, with Stacy Keach as your narrator, was adapted for radio by Dennis Etchison and written for The Twilight Zone by Rod Serling. Heard in the cast were Roger Mueller, Jason Bradley, Christian Stolte, Doug James, Jeff Lupetin, Amanda Amari, Elizabeth Lido, Vince Amari, Alex Sopner, Frenette Lebo, Carl Amari, Kurt Nabig, Peggy Roeder, and Jason Mallow. This copyrighted radio series is produced and directed by Carl Amari and Jason Mallow for Falcon Picture Group. Doug James speaking.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
That looks like a good spot.
Where?
Up ahead on the corner.
Yeah, we'll set up some boxes.
I don't know.
It's perfect, I tell you. All these people taking a walk after dinner, they'll listen. Oh, they'll listen, all right.
Just hand out the pamphlets for now. I have to work on my speech.
What speech? You don't need one. Just say it the way you say it to us.
These people, they don't know what we stand for.
So tell them, Pete.
We'll make sure they listen. Put the flag up against the building.
Which one?
Both of them. Ours and Old Glory. The big two.
There's some boxes. You can stand on them. I'll go set them up.
Man, oh man, this is gonna be the night, huh, Pete?
Well, I guess it's now or never.
Got that right.
How's my uniform look?
Here, straighten your tie. The cap, the boots, perfect. You look like a leader. Big time.
Go, Pete. Give him a dose of the truth.
Hey, mister.
Excuse me, little girl.
Are you in the army?
No army you ever heard of, sweetheart, but you will.
My daddy's a lieutenant. Are you a lieutenant?
Better than that, kid. A lot better. Now stand back. You're in the way.
Good evening. Good evening, neighbors. I have something of great importance to tell you. If you'll all gather round.
Neighbors? Who's neighbors?
Yeah, we're not your neighbors.
I never saw him around here.
Yeah, me neither.
Look at those crazy outfits they're wearing.
Yeah, they look like real idiots.
I bring you a message that you'll all want to hear.
What are you selling? Vegetable choppers? Because I already bought one.
It's... Well, hear me out, folks.
Hey, what's with the goopy flag?
Yeah, it's got lightning bolts on it.
Well, maybe they're looking for a few good men for Halloween.
I want to talk to you about international communism and the secret masters of the World Bank. I'm not joking, neighbors. Do you know who's really behind it? Look at our economy. It's falling apart. It's because of the bankers. That's right. The economics of the world, now, then, and forever, have always been the breeding ground for a certain type. An insidious type. The worshippers of the golden calf, whose religion is gold, whose loyalty, first and foremost, is to money, and only money. And we know who loves money more than anyone else, don't we? We know what tribe.
He's just getting warmed up.
Yep, in a minute he'll have him in the palm of his hand.
The tribe of traitors. And they're here, in our homeland. They're in Washington. Those swine have captured the reins of government.
Yeah, they're rotten apples, and I got an apple for you. Hey, knock it off, people.
Yeah, show some respect.
I'm talking about traitors. Listen. Boring.
Ice cream. Get your ice cream.
I want one.
Come on, Angie. We'll both get one. Then we'll go home.
Yeah, there's nothing happening here.
No. Listen to this. What about foreigners? Huh? Foreigners. Take a look at the way that they're controlling us. The lines lead directly to Palestine and to the Vatican.
Yeah, I've had about enough of this. Let's go.
It's a conspiracy, I tell you. A conspiracy of men who aren't like us. Yellow men, brown men, black men. They come here and they infiltrate our economy. They're right here on our doorstep.
If there's anybody sitting on your doorstep, buddy, it's the man in the white coat.
Here, take a tomato with you.
You think that's pretty funny, don't you? You think it's funny that your country can be sold out? That they can sell out your flag and your birthright? You think that's funny, huh? Well, the day will come.
Oh, shut up.
Let him talk. What's the matter? No more big talk? He's just a scrawny kid with a big mouth. Real big. As long as he got a couple of punks to protect you.
We gotta do something.
Where's Nick?
Go on, get out of here.
Back off. This here's a real American.
Yeah, a real jerk.
Why, you?
Get out! Cut it off! Cut it off! Right now!
Portrait of a Bush League Führer named Peter Vollmer, a young man who feeds off his self-delusions and is left perpetually hungry. Like his goose-stepping predecessors, he searches for something to explain this hunger, to rationalize why the world passes him by without saluting. In his own twisted and distorted lexicon, he calls it faith, strength, truth. But the particular brand of truth he seeks can be found in any sewer. Peter Vollmer doesn't know it yet, but he is about to ply his trade on another corner, an intersection in a strange shadowland called the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, He's Alive, starring Marshall Allman and Peter Mark Richmond, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
All right, folks, break it up. Party's over.
Yeah, what's happening here?
Looks like the boys in the brown shirts took a licking.
No, we got him. We got him good.
Said, what are you lying on the ground for?
Problem, fellas?
It was the communists. The communists did this.
What?
Which ones are those, Jack?
All of them.
They ran away like cowards.
We want to press charges.
What about names? We need names if we're going to charge anybody.
Look, forget about it. We can take care of ourselves.
Sure you can.
Need some medical attention?
No, we don't need your help.
Come on, Peter, I'll help you out.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, Jack, you forgot your flag.
Yeah, your mama made it for you.
Give it to me.
Sure.
There'll come a day when guys like you will crawl on your belly to salute this. There'll come a day.
Yeah, well, let me know the date, Jack, so I can stay home sick.
Hey, Pete! Pete! Are you okay?
Yeah, we're fine.
What are you doing in the alley?
They cornered me. Must have been 10 guys on top of me. Is all I could do to get away.
You sure that's what happened?
Sure, I'm sure. Oh, mean crowd, Pete. You get a hot night, and you always get a mean crowd. Remember when I was telling you that? Remember when I was telling you that every time you get a hot night?
All right.
Okay, Pete. Okay.
Why? I tried. I tried hard out there tonight, but I couldn't get through. I couldn't get them to listen. Words never come out right.
You did good. Real good.
Someday they'll listen. They'll have to. They'll listen and they'll cheer.
Someday they will, Pete. You'll see. Someday.
Now, hold still. It's only a cut, not a mortal wound. Wash your face when you get home and put some iodine on it. I think you will survive. Now, do you want a cup of coffee?
I'd rather have a drink.
A drink, is it?
May I have a drink, Ernst?
I have some wine. Will that do?
Yes, please.
Very well. You are a man now.
Thank you.
Peter, one sips wine. That's not beer from a beer garden.
Sorry. I'll remember that next time.
The next time. Just how many next times do you suppose a human being has in the scheme of things?
Oh, come on, don't lecture me, Ernst. I'm sick, I'm tired, and I took a beating out there.
Did you?
Yeah, can I stay the night?
Yeah, the couch remains in the corner, as usual.
You're a good friend, Ernst. You understand.
Sad to say, I do.
A man does what he believes in.
A man usually does.
I believe in certain things.
Is that right?
You know I do. I mean, we're friends. You've known me since I was a kid.
When you were a little kid, Peter, and I used to find you crying at my door late at night, I could pity you then.
And now?
What do you think? Now you peddle hate on street corners as if it were popcorn.
It's not hate. It's a point of view. A philosophy.
Oh, I know the philosophy. I know it quite well. 9 years in a place called Dachau. And you know who put me there? Peter Vollmer.
What?
A lot of Peter Vollmers. Frustrated men, sick men, hungry men. But the result, the effect, never mind the cause, was 12 million bodies in shallow graves. And it all started with young men in uniforms, talking on street corners.
Hey, you let me come here. You never sent me away.
No, I never did. I never do. That's the weakness that you scream about on your street corner, the sentimentality, the softness, the weakness that makes a man his brother's keeper. So I must be one of the worst of your criminals, Peter. Sentimental, soft, and very preoccupied with my brothers. I should close the door on you, but perhaps this is my sickness. I only see the boy, not the man. Go ahead. Sleep on my couch.
Look, why don't you understand? You're the only person in the world I ever had. What else have I had? What? A drunk father who used to throw me against the wall? An old lady who drank till she had no marbles in her head? She didn't even recognize me half the time. That's why I used to come over here to your apartment, because, I mean, you were gentle with me, you know? You'd talk to me. You'd feed me. You'd take care of me. Ernst, you're my real father.
Ah, this is the boy speaking again. The little boy with so much fear in him. Yeah, you rest now, Peter. You rest well.
No. 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 Wait. Eugene. What? What?
Peter!
Who's that?
Peter?
Who's out there? Who is it?
A friend, Mr. Fulmer.
A friend?
You have need of friends, yeah. Allies. Yeah, come downstairs, Mr. Fulmer. Come down and we'll talk, you and I. Hello, Mr. Fulmer.
I heard people out here.
Oh, did you?
And your voice.
Well, a dream, perhaps, of better days to come.
Who are you?
Take a good look. Do you not recognize me? Surely you have seen my picture.
Wait. That hair. With the mustache. No. It can't be. You died a long time ago.
Did I? Or perhaps I only wanted people to think so.
But you're a great man.
I am aware of your opinion.
How did you know where to find me?
I simply followed your tears, Mr. Fulmer.
You said you have something to talk about?
I do. I do indeed. I have you to talk about, and the things you believe in, which are the things I believe in as well. See, your success, Mr. Fulmer, will be my success. Are you interested?
I am. I am. Please go on.
Good. Then let us start by discussing a most important point. What are the dynamics of a crowd? How do you move them, Mr. Fulmer? How do you excite them? How do you make them feel as one with you?
I don't know. I don't know, sir. How?
Join them first, Mr. Fulmer. Yeah? When you address them, speak as if you were a part of the mob. Speak to them in their language, on their level. Make them hate the things you hate.
How do I do that?
If they are poor, talk to them about poverty. If they are afraid, talk to them about their fears. And if they are angry, Mr. Fulmer, if they are angry, give them objects for their anger. But most of all, what is most of the essence is that you make the mob an extension of yourself. Say to them things like, things like this. They call us hate mongers. They say we're prejudiced. They say we're biased. They say we hate the minorities. The minorities. Understand the term, neighbors. Minorities. Shall I tell you who the minorities are? Shall I? We are. We are the minorities. That way, Mr. Warner. See, you started that way.
I think I understand.
That's right.
Neighbors. Neighbors. They call us hate mongers.
That's it. More.
They say we're prejudiced. They say we're biased.
Yeah. Now you have got it. Go on.
The minorities? Understand the term, neighbors. The minorities. Shall I tell you who the minorities are? We are the minorities. Because patriotism is the minority. Because love of country is the minority. Because to live in a free white America seems to be a minority opinion. Let me tell you something, neighbors. I want you to dwell on this. Just dwell on it. Once we had an atom bomb, and suddenly the Russians had it. We wanted to send men into space, but it was the Russians who got there first. We had a hydrogen bomb. It was the Russians who exploded theirs. Who gave them the bombs? Who sold us out? Who stabbed us in the back? Well, if it's the minority opinion that we must survive, then we are the minority. And this minority will not stop until it's the majority. This minority will not give up the fight. No, this is the promise, and this is the legacy.
Look, I'm not gonna wait much longer, you understand?
Gibbons, cool it.
Pretty good crowd tonight, huh?
Great crowd, and you were great, Pete. I mean it.
Thanks, Stanley. They're finally responding.
Responding? You had them right where you want them.
Yeah. This here is my hall. You've been renting it all this time, but I ain't got the money yet.
Hey, can't you see we're busy?
Okay, boys. I'll put it to you this way. If I don't get paid right now, you don't have the hall tomorrow night. You got that?
I'll go count the donations.
What's the problem?
Oh, this is a hungry man here, Pete. He's got to have his shekels. You know the type.
I told you guys you're 3 weeks behind on the rent. You said you'd give it to me a week ago, and all I got was a cigarette butts on the floor. After tonight, that's it.
Excuse me. Am I to understand that you're going to lock us out of this meeting hall because of a couple weeks' lousy rent?
Oh, you understand right. $600 due. $600 that ain't been received.
We happen to be a young movement. We're still struggling. We need time to grow.
I don't rent time. I just rent the hall. It's the money. Or you put up a soapbox in the street.
A soapbox in the street?
What do we do, Pete? We gotta do something.
I don't see why we have to tiptoe around this guy. Why don't I just educate him?
Look, Frank, I don't know. Why don't you just hold on a second?
I can do it, guaranteed.
Well, I know you can, Frank.
Somebody left this for you, Pete.
Who?
Nobody saw him. Just left this envelope at the back door. Your name's on it.
There's money inside.
6 C-notes. Hey, how about that? We need $600, and here it is.
Oh, man, how about that? Hey, Gibbons, come and get it.
Yeah, it's about time.
You satisfied? Then don't bother us.
All right. You're paid up through this week.
Where'd the dough come from, Pete? You have any idea?
We must have a secret supporter.
I can see why. You were really something tonight. I can't even tell you how it sounded. You had him. You really had him.
Hey, we're gonna make it. And now something tells me we're really gonna make it.
You bet your life.
You guys go on. I'll see you outside.
Sure, Pete.
Anything you say.
Excellent performance, Mr. Vollmer. Yes, very effective. Very effective. You learn quickly.
Well, thank you. I didn't know you were here.
I am always here. Pleased to be of help. You learned the style very well. You delivered it precisely as I told you.
I'm very obliged. And the money?
Oh, it was the least I could do. We couldn't have you thrown out into the streets, yeah? I happen to feel that your work is very important.
You're with us?
With you? Oh, Mr. Vollmer, you might say I am you. Now, I have some suggestions. I'll continue to give you speeches, but there's a matter of importance that must be taken care of.
What is it?
An expedient, Mr. Vollmer. Oh, you might call it a cause célèbre. Something to cement the organization together.
I don't understand.
The organization needs a martyr.
A martyr? How do we find a martyr?
You don't find one, Mr. Vollmer. You choose one. You pick out the one of least value, and you make him a symbol. You wrap him in a flag, and you make his death work for you. Find a man, Mr. Vollmer, who has no worth while he's alive, but who can serve you when he's dead.
Like who?
Oh, surely there is such a one.
Pete, they're waiting.
Be right there, Nick.
Okay. Thought I heard voices. You talking to somebody?
No. I'm just practicing my next speech. Look, hey, tell Frank to come in here, would you?
Right away.
Alone.
Sure thing, Pete.
An excellent choice, Mr. Vollmer. The little fat one. Yeah. Now, all you have to do is arrange it.
The only thing is, I've known Nick for a long time. Isn't there some other way?
Other way? There is no other way, Mr. Vollmer. And if you weaken now, there's no point in going on. When Frank comes back, tell him you've discovered an informer. Tell him the informer has done you irreparable damage. The informer must be put out of the way, but cleverly, subtly, so that there is some question as to who is responsible.
But Nick's been with us from the beginning.
The beginning? Oh, no, Mr. Vollmer. None of you were at the beginning. None of you.
Nick's my friend.
And this is an act of friendship. We are allowing him to serve the cause. How glorious for him.
Nick says you wanted to see me?
We got a stoolie in the group, Frank.
A stoolie?
Yeah. Nick's been talking. And I think he's working for the police.
No.
I know it to be a fact. Everything we've done, everything we've said, Nick snitched on us.
Are you sure?
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Well, what do you want to do, Pete?
Get rid of him. Get rid of him so that it looks like somebody else did it. Make it look like someone who hates us.
I understand. I understand, Pete. You call it, you got it.
There you are, officers. Thank God.
Stay calm, ma'am.
Now just tell us, where's the spotty?
Over here, in the alley.
Shine your flashlight on it.
Look at all that blood. Somebody did quite a number on him, huh?
I've seen him before. It's one of those young hooligans. You can tell by the uniform.
He's dead, all right. Call a meat wagon.
What was this one's name? Wait a minute. There's a note pinned to his chest.
What does it say?
A good fascist. What do you suppose that means?
One of their enemies must have put it there after he beat him to death.
Yeah, but which enemy? There's a lot of them around here.
Fewer and fewer every day.
Hurry up, Frank. We've been waiting for you.
Is it done?
Cross off the little creep. Anything else?
Then, we finally have our martyr.
Pete, you better go on. They're going nuts in there.
It's a good crowd tonight?
Right to the ceiling.
What's the matter, Stanley?
Oh, nothing.
Then why the look?
It's just that... Nick was a nice guy, Pete. I miss him.
Stan, you listen to me. You forget about Nick right now. He was a fat pig with no guts. He was a greasy big mouth who copped out every time he took a breath. A nickel and dime Judas who got exactly what he deserved. So don't mourn for Nick. He doesn't rate mourning. Not that pig. You got that, Stanley? Look at me, Stanley. You got that?
Yeah.
You have his poster ready?
Blown up bigger in life. Just like you said.
Good. When I give the signal, unveil it behind the podium. All right, everyone. I have something very important to say. A man of honor has died tonight. A decent, courageous fighter for the cause of freedom. He gave his life. He gave his life for us. Some skulking assassin murdered him. But friends and neighbors and co-fighters, Nick Bloss did not die in vain. They stilled his great heart, but they could not stifle his memory. They could not obliterate his courage. They could not wipe away his honor. He lives, my friends. He lives in you, and he lives in me. He lives deep in the gut of any human being who believes that the United States of America should be free, should be untainted, should be free from the mongrels who try to enslave it. Now, Stanley, look at this portrait of Nick Bloss in his uniform. He wore it proudly. He died for it. And you and I, neighbors, we will live for it.
Oh, hiya, Mr. Gans.
How do you do?
How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm very sober, unfortunately.
Beer?
Yeah, if you please.
Boy, listen to him across the street. Guy's got a voice on him.
And I knew it when it was only a whimper.
That's a wild kid, that one. Used to be people would laugh at him, but lately he gets the crowd. Not many people laugh now. Say, you know him, don't you?
Yeah, since he was a child. A silent little boy with very little to say. But now, I've been here before. Oh yes, I've seen and heard it all before.
That was another time, Mr. Gans. Another place. Another kind of people. That stuff doesn't go here.
That's what we said, too. They were brown shirt scum. Temporary insanity. Part of the passing scene. Too monstrous to be real. So we ignored them. Or laughed at them. Because we couldn't believe that there were enough insane people to march for their cause. And then, one morning, the country woke up from an uneasy sleep, and there was no more laughter. The Peter Volmers had taken over. The wild animals had changed places with the zookeepers.
Another one, Mr. Gans?
No, thank you. I have had my fill.
You take it easy now. You're not going to do anything foolish, are you?
Me? Not this time. It mustn't happen again. We can't let it. We simply can't let it happen again. All the anguish, all the horror, all the nightmare. No. Not this time.
Mr. Gans? Mr. Gans!
And so I tell you, my friends, we will take it to the streets. There's going to be a big meeting tomorrow night with searchlights and banners and drums and armed bands. for every one of you who wants to join us. We have armbands, and soon, very soon, we will have uniforms for all of you. When we march!
Who's that?
Search me.
Go on, Mr. Vollmer. You were saying?
Ernst, what are you doing here?
I can tell them what you were saying. I have heard it all before. I have heard it 1,000 times before. In Munich, in Berlin, on 100 different street corners. It was drivel then, and it is drivel now.
Ernst, you've got to stop.
And what is this one here? The latest model? A new Führer right off the assembly line? Well, this one isn't so new. He is just a cheap copy. Oh, let me tell you about this one. About the breed, the species. They are all alike. Problem children with illusions. Sick, sad neurotics who need applause like a needle.
That's enough, Ernst. Please. Please.
Listen to me, Peter, and let them listen, or I will tell them about a quaking, whimpering boy who cried on my couch, who still cries on my couch.
Ernst, don't!
They need parades and torchlights and slogans like therapy. They need uniforms and armbands, because without them they are naked and pitiful. This one grew too old to bite his nails, so he made believe he could lead others.
Pete, don't let him have the mic. Put him down, or I'll put him down.
Yeah, put me down, Peter. Shut me up. Stifle me, huh? Why don't you? Why can't you? Because this is your courage right here. The symbol on your sleeve. A torch and a lightning bolt. A crude drawing for children.
I'm warning you, Ernst.
This patch is your strength. This and the crowds and the sick aisles. And if I tell you to your face, Peter, that your courage is made out of cloth, that your ideas are filthy garbage, and that you are something less than a man, what do you say to that? How do you answer me?
Like this!
Oh, the rebuttal. The only answer your kind knows how to give. Is that the best you can do? A bloody nose? This is your Führer? He is yours. I give him to you. A gift from the sewers.
You see, folks, the way it is.
Hey, Pete, don't worry about it. He's just an old man. One crummy old man.
The way it is, I knew him. I knew the old man once.
Is that a fact, Mr. Vollmer?
Yes, that is a fact. I used to know him. And...
who's he talking to?
Mr. Vollmer, I have no interest in who he is. My concern is in what he is. He cheapened you in front of these people. You barely had the strength to strike him a slap, like a woman. Your voice is like a lion, but your instincts are rabbits.
And you? Instincts like a rabbit. Slap like a woman. You stand in the darkness and plan the battles. But you're never there when they're fought. No. Why don't you come up here alongside me, huh? Why don't you let them see who you really are? Why don't you make a speech?
Mr. Vollmer, I was making speeches before you knew how to read them. I was fighting battles when you were struggling to get out of a womb. I was taking over the world when your universe was a crib. And as for my standing in the darkness, Mr. Vollmer, I invented darkness.
Then you take the stick. Go on. It's all yours.
Pete, who were you talking to? Where are you going? You can't run out.
Ernst! Ernst! Where are you? Let me explain. You! Why? Why did you pick me?
I didn't pick you, Mr. Former. You picked me. You chose my ideas. You invoked my name. So now, you must take whatever comes with it.
What?
In the past, I've given you suggestions. Now, I give orders.
Orders? What do you want me to do?
From now on, you must be built of steel. No soft gaps of sentiment. Steel, Mr. Vollmer. The way we handled Nick, and the mobs, and the speeches. And gradually, bit by bit, we shall forge something strong, something powerful. Just as I did before, with my own hands. With my own hands! The old man, the Jew, he'll be back again tomorrow night, the next night. I know him. I know the type. We sent them into the ovens. But always, there was a handful left to point a finger. His kind, Mr. Vollmer, his kind are dangerous. See, they talk, they think, they plant seeds, they hold us back. Here, take this.
What is it?
What do you think? A Luger 9mm pistol. My personal sidearm. Kill him. Kill the old man.
Kill Ernst?
Tonight, he will be in his room. If you are man enough. If you are steel.
All right. I'll do it. I'll do it now.
Then, Mr. Vollmer, when you come back, there's much we have to talk about. Plans, campaigns, ideas, the next steps. This is only the beginning, the dawn. It will be a long, long day.
Yeah? Come in. Ah, I thought it was you.
You wouldn't listen to me, Ernst.
On the contrary, I listened to all that I was able to stand.
You should pay attention now. I can't even begin to tell you what's happened. It's too incredible. It's too unbelievable. I can tell you this much. We're on the march. From now on, we only go forward. There's no stopping us.
No stopping you, Peter? An old man stopped you tonight with a few words. He stopped you with the truth.
You're wrong, Ernst. It's not just me anymore. There's someone else. Someone behind us. Someone even you tremble at.
He'd have to be a very imposing figure, Peter. Much more imposing than you.
Oh, he is. He gave me this. See?
More imposing even than a gun.
That's only because you don't think I'll use it. Which only goes to show that you don't know me.
I know you, Peter, I know you. From a ravaged little boy wanting love to a torn man looking for respect, identity. I don't fear you. So you may do what you have in mind at any time you wish. With this one last reminder. You can never kill an idea with a bullet. Never.
No. I'm all steel now. Ernst, I'm made out of steel. No more sentiment. No more softness. Just purpose. just will.
Then shoot. Kill. Destroy me, if you can. Am I close enough to you?
You're frightened. Admit it.
Not at all. Impatient and a little bored.
With living?
With having to live in a time that produces people like you. Once, years ago, you made death inviting. You still do. So do me the goodness, Peter. Get it over with as quickly as possible. I'm waiting, Peter.
Kill him, Vollmer. Kill the old man. Kill the Jew. Use strength. Use will. Be made of steel, Vollmer. Kill him! Kill him now!
You see, Ernst? I told you! I told you! I'm made of steel.
All steel. All strength. But at the expense of things that most other men have. Some fragments of decency that tell them right from wrong. That make them love. Yes, Peter, you have steel, but now you have no heart.
Where is everybody?
Pete?
We were just cleaning up.
What happened to you?
Nothing. Nothing happened to me. You tell them. You go out there and you tell them.
But they've all gone home.
Tell them I'm still in charge. I'm number one. You serve, I lead. Understand? You serve, I lead.
Come on, Pete. Let's go.
No, he picked me. Out of everybody, he picked me. What's wrong? Don't you believe me? He did. He picked me.
So long, Pete. See ya.
Don't you walk away from me! Frank! Frank! Who's there? Who is that?
Vollmer?
You. I did what you said.
Sentimentality, Mr. Vollmer?
None!
Steel?
Steel.
And no regrets?
None.
What did you destroy tonight?
Only a disease. A growth on our flesh that had to be removed.
Not a man, then?
No. Hardly a man.
How did it feel?
It felt like I was immortal.
Mr. Vollmer, we are immortal.
Yes. Yes.
There he is.
Don't move.
What do you want?
Peter Vollmer?
Yes.
We have a warrant for your arrest.
That's impossible.
The charge is conspiracy to commit murder. Your two friends are outside in cuffs. The victim's name was Nicholas Bloss.
Get away from me.
He's got a gun.
Drop the gun! Now! Walk toward us with your hands up!
Hey, look, he's going to the other door.
Tell them to cover the alley. Halt! Halt, or I'll shoot!
Hold it right there!
We got him! He's hit!
Call for an ambulance. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong.
Easy, kid. Don't try to talk.
But you made a terrible mistake. I'm made of steel. It's true. Don't you understand? I'm made of steel. I'm made of steel. I'm made of steel. I'm made of steel.
Where will he appear next? This phantom from another time, this resurrected ghost of an old nightmare. Chicago? Los Angeles? Miami, Florida, perhaps. Vincennes, Indiana. Syracuse, New York. Any place, every place where there's hate, where there's prejudice, where there's bigotry. Because he's alive. He's alive so long as these evils exist. Remember that when he comes to your town. Remember it when you hear his voice speaking through the mouths of others, no matter who they may be. Remember it when you hear a name called a minority slandered. Any blind, unreasoning attack on a people or any human being. He's alive. Because through these things, we keep him alive.